Question number 1. What should you do before making a U-turn? If you have to make a U-turn, slow down and ensure that the road is clear in both directions. Make sure that the road is wide enough for you to carry out the maneuver safely. Use your mirrors and look round to check it's safe before turning across the road. Question number 2. What should you do if your mobile phone rings while you're driving or riding? It's illegal to use a handheld mobile or similar device when driving or riding, except in a genuine emergency. The safest option is to switch off your mobile phone before you set off and use a message service. If you've forgotten to switch your phone off and it rings, you should leave it. When you've stopped in a safe place, you can see who called and return the call if necessary. Question number 3. What must you do when the amber light is flashing at a pelican crossing? Pelican crossings are signal-controlled crossings operated by pedestrians. Push-button controls change the signals. Pelican crossings have no red and amber stage before green, instead, they have a flashing amber light. This means you must give way to pedestrians who are on the crossing, but if the crossing is clear, you can continue. Question number 4. Why should you never wave people across at pedestrian crossings? If people are waiting to use a pedestrian crossing, slow down and be prepared to stop. Don't wave them across the road, because another driver may not have seen them, may not have seen your signal, and may not be able to stop safely. Question number 5. How would underinflated tires affect your vehicle? Your tires are your only contact with the road. To prevent problems with braking and steering, keep your tires free from defects. They must have sufficient tread depth and be correctly inflated. Correct tire pressures help reduce the risk of skidding and provide a safer and more comfortable drive or ride. Question number 6. When are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? Every effort must be made to prevent excessive noise, especially in built-up areas at night. Don't rev your engine or sound the horn unnecessarily. It's illegal to sound your horn in a built-up area between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m., except when another road user poses a danger. Question number 7. What should you do if you want to turn left at a junction where pedestrians have started to cross? When you're turning into a side road, pedestrians who are crossing have priority. You should wait to allow them to finish crossing safely. Be patient if they are slow or unsteady. Don't try to rush them by sounding your horn, flashing your lights, revving your engine, or giving any other inappropriate signal. Question number 8. You see a pedestrian carrying a white stick that also has a red band. What does this mean? When someone is deaf as well as blind, they may carry a white stick with a red reflective band or bands. They may not be aware that you're approaching and they may not be able to hear anything, so, for example, your horn would be ineffective as a warning to them. Question number 9. You're waiting to turn right out of a minor road. It's clear to the left, but a lorry is coming from the right. Why should you wait, even if you have enough time to turn? Large vehicles can hide other vehicles that are overtaking, especially motorcycles. You need to be aware of the possibility of hidden vehicles and not assume that it's safe to turn. Question number 10. Which vehicles are least likely to be affected by side wind? Although cars are the least likely to be affected, side winds can take anyone by surprise. This is most likely to happen after overtaking a large vehicle, when passing gaps between hedges or buildings, and on exposed sections of road. Question number 11. When may you overtake another vehicle on their left? You may pass slower vehicles on their left while traveling along a one-way street. Be aware of drivers who may need to change lanes and may not expect faster traffic passing on their left. Question number 12. You're traveling in very heavy rain. How is this likely to affect your overall stopping distance? The road will be very wet and spray from other vehicles will reduce your visibility. Tire grip will also be reduced, increasing your stopping distance. You should at least double your separation distance to make sure you can stop safely in the space you've allowed. Question number 13. You're joining a motorway from a slip road. How should you deal with traffic already on the motorway? You should give way to traffic already on the motorway. Where possible, traffic may move over to let you in, but don't force your way into the traffic stream. Traffic could be traveling at high speed, so try to match your speed to filter in without affecting the traffic flow. Question number 14. What's the national speed limit on motorways for cars and motorcycles? Traveling at the national speed limit doesn't allow you to hog the right-hand lane. Always use the left-hand lane whenever possible. When leaving a motorway, get into the left-hand lane well before your exit. Reduce your speed on the slip road and look out for sharp bends or curves and traffic queuing at roundabouts. Question number 15. Which vehicles should use the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? On a motorway, all traffic should use the left-hand lane unless overtaking. When overtaking a number of slower vehicles, move back to the left-hand lane when you're safely passed. Check your mirrors frequently and don't stay in the middle or right-hand lane if the left-hand lane is free. Question number 16. What does this sign mean? The red slash through the sign indicates that the restriction has ended. In this case, the restriction was a minimum speed limit of 30 miles per hour. Question number 17. What's the national speed limit for cars and motorcycles on a dual carriageway? Make sure that you know the speed limit for the road that you're on. The speed limit on a dual carriageway or motorway is 70 miles per hour for cars and motorcycles, unless signs indicate otherwise. The speed limits for different types of vehicle are listed in the Highway Code. Question number 18. What should you do if you want to overtake a tractor but aren't sure that it's safe? Following a tractor can be frustrating, but never overtake if you're unsure whether it's safe. Ask yourself, can I see far enough down the road to ensure that I can complete the maneuver safely? It's better to be delayed for a minute or two than to take a chance that may cause a collision. Question number 19. What does this sign mean? Where you see this sign, the 20 miles per hour restriction ends and a 30 miles per hour restriction starts. Check all around for possible hazards and only increase your speed if it's safe to do so. Question number 20. What does this sign mean? A sign will indicate which types of vehicles are prohibited from certain roads. Make sure that you know which signs apply to the vehicle you're using. Question number 21. What does this sign mean? No entry signs are used in places such as one-way streets to prevent vehicles driving against the traffic. To ignore one would be dangerous, both for yourself and for other road users, as well as being against the law. Question number 22. For how long is an MOT certificate normally valid? Some garages will remind you that your vehicle is due for its annual MOT test, but not all do. To ensure continuous cover, you may take your vehicle for its MOT up to 1 month before its existing MOT certificate expires. The expiry date on the new certificate will be 12 months after the expiry date on the old certificate. Question number 23. What's a cover note? Sometimes an insurance company will issue a temporary insurance certificate called a cover note. It gives you the same insurance cover as your certificate but lasts for a limited period, usually 1 month. Question number 24. You've just passed your first practical driving test. What will you have to do if you get 6 penalty points on your license in the next 2 years? If you accumulate 6 or more penalty points within 2 years of gaining your first full license, it will be revoked. The 6 or more points include any gained due to offences you committed before passing your test. If this happens, you may only drive as a learner until you pass both the theory and practical tests again. Question number 25. When are you allowed to use hazard warning lights? You mustn't use hazard warning lights while moving, except to warn traffic behind when you slow suddenly on a motorway or unrestricted dual carriageway. Never use hazard warning lights to excuse dangerous or illegal parking. Question number 26. What should you do if you have to stop while you're going through a congested tunnel? It's important to keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front at all times. This still applies in congested tunnels, even if you're moving very slowly or have stopped. If the vehicle in front breaks down, you may need room to maneuver past it. Question number 27. You arrive at the scene of a crash where someone is bleeding heavily from a wound in their arm. Nothing is embedded in the wound. What could you do to help? If possible, lay the casualty down. Protect yourself from exposure to blood and, when you're sure there's nothing in the wound, apply firm pressure using clean material. Question number 28. What restrictions apply if you're towing a trailer on a 3-lane motorway? The motorway regulations for towing a trailer state that you must not use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway unless directed to do so, for example, at roadworks or due to a lane closure. Exceed 60 miles per hour. Question number 29. What should you do if you're towing a trailer and it starts to swing from side to side? Strong winds or buffeting from large vehicles can cause a trailer or caravan to swing from side to side, snake. If this happens, ease off the accelerator. Don't brake harshly, steer sharply or increase your speed. Question number 30. When would you increase the pressure in your tires so that it's above the normal value? Check the vehicle handbook. This should give you guidance on the correct tire pressures for your vehicle and when you may need to adjust them. If you're carrying a heavy load, you may need to adjust the headlights as well. Most cars have a switch on the dashboard to do this.